Hi singers, welcome to another vocal video. This may be part rant or maybe mostly rant and maybe a little bit of a tutorial. But the reason why I want to make this video because it was weighing heavily on my mind. Disturbing vocal trends. And I'm sure you have heard it. It's hard to avoid. What is that vocal trend? All of the young pop singers sound exactly the same. You know what I'm talking about. They are always whispering. And I don't get it. You know, I have a lot of young students, like a lot. So this is not just me being a cranky Generation Xer. Well, partly is. But a lot of my young students are not a fan of it either. So what gives? And how can we make this trend die forever and ever? It's called core, first of all. Core is what you want. Core is what these young people don't have. Can be fixed by using core, your gut. You hear? I don't know why it's so in style, and it has been for a couple years now, but it is. I'm not going to name names. You know who I'm talking about. There's only about 1 million. So, I've got some vocal homework for you, all right? One of them is to, if you haven't been doing it already, listen to some singers, some pop singers from the past. Because they're just better. At least the ones who were on the charts. You don't know what charts are if you're younger. Those have pretty much gone away with the dinosaur. But we dinosaurs remember when there was a top 40 and it actually meant something. So, you probably know who Aretha Franklin is. Yes. If not, there'll be some wonderful movies coming out about her. I think there's one out now. Listen to Ms. Aretha. It's her birthday as I make this recording as it happens. Ms. Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. Definitely somebody, when you hear her, you're like, oh, that's Aretha. And there's no mistaking it's Aretha. There was a lot of that going back on in the day, wasn't there? You knew it was Aretha. You knew it was Cher, right? You knew it was Mariah. You knew it was Dolly. You knew it was Barbara. You see a theme here? There used to be a lot of singing with your own voice, the voice that God gave ya. And then just kind of adding in a little bit of your own flair, but there is no mistaking. Your tone is your tone. Now it's all about the cookie cutter, right? So how do you avoid that? I guess that's where I'm getting with this. In addition to listening to singers to kind of seeing, oh yeah, they don't sound like anybody else. Well, you don't sound like anybody else. The problem is a lot of young singers are imitating and manipulating, their vocal apparatus to try to sound like everybody else. And certainly these young guys and gals who are somewhat popular these days on TikTok or whatever are imitating who they hear too, so they all sound like one big mess of the same boring stuff. How do you avoid sounding like everybody else? How do you sing with your real voice? I've been asked that question 1 million times before. Is there an easy answer? Not really. It can be kind of involved, but I'll try to simplify the best I can. All right. First step, you have to know how to let your sound out with good, solid breathing. Don't hold on to your breath. Let it be low. That's step number 1. Make that a habit, right? You've been watching some of my videos, I hope. Learn how to breathe. Then the other part is you got to open up. Open up that throat. Spend a lot of time doing some yawning exercises. Opening up is a huge deal. When you're not pressing on anything, you can't manipulate, which, of course, is how you play around with silly little sounds, right? Whether they're serious or, silly, right? When you're imitating anybody, it's because you're pressing onto something, right? Or, you're just really forcing a sound where it should be, essentially. Open up the sound. An open sound is a natural sound. When it is going where it should go, right? Here in this, the face here. That, ultimately, is what you sound like. Is it free? That's you. Did that make sense? Record yourself, all right? Yeah, do lots of yawning and sighing and yay, woo! That's what vocal freedom feels like. And as you do these sirens, oh, yay, whoa, you're realizing too, the other added bonus, just how much range you have, which people aren't really exploring a whole lot of either in a lot of modern music, right? So start from there. Start with good low breath habits. Don't hold on to your breath. Remember that? That's a big thing for me. Don't hold on to your breath. Let that breath out immediately. Let it swoosh through this wave. Do lots of sirens and yawns. You're going to discover it feels good to let it go. And don't be afraid of your head register. You don't need to be all like an opera singer, right? That's a totally different ballgame. I'm not trying to turn pop singers into an opera singer. No teacher these days is about that. We've learned. Essentially, just let it out and don't be listening as much. Yes, I do want you to listen to the greats, but they're the greats for a reason. That's them. You're you. I want you to listen to them and get inspired, but I don't want you to ever even try to imitate Aretha or Barbara or Dolly, because they're legends, right? They're legends for a reason, because they were themselves. So hopefully my rant made sense on why it's not so good. It's not some goal to want to sound like everybody else you're hearing. Or anybody else from the past either. It's best to just let it happen. See what comes out. That's you, and that's a great thing. So let's bring good vocal technique back. Good style back. And hopefully people will start writing some good songs. I'm sure they're being written, but they're just not being promoted, as you know. We won't even start to talk about the recent Grammys, all right? That's a whole other video. I want to keep this at the end of the video as leave on a positive note. So, you know what to do. You hold the keys, good vocal technique, and you feeling free to sound the way you're meant to sound is the answer to changing things in this dismal state of the world of music. Let's change it by being better. I hope to see you in another vocal video or in a lesson or a group class. mollymclinden.com. The link is on my YouTube page. Sign up for something. I'd love to work with you either in a group setting. It's going to be lots of fun, and definitely lots of fun on a one-on-one basis too. Either way, happy singing to one and all. Rant lecture over. Till next time.